So I had a speech written. I think I had 6 lessons for you, and I was going to do a little teaching today. And this morning I tore it up. That's why you saw me scribbling here this afternoon, because I decided, even though I was going to try to be a real smart guy with all the success I've had, I wanted to tell you instead about one entrepreneur friend of mine in Ashtabula, Ohio. His name's Jake Sposito. His business is a coffee shop on Bridge Street. It's called the Harbor Perk. When I returned to my hometown in 2006 after I sold my business, decided I wanted to commit the rest of my life there. He had a rundown shop, a coffee shop on Bridge Street, which was then a rundown part of town. But it was a great place to go because the coffee was good. The atmosphere was always welcoming, and since Jake then had few customers, he and I had a lot of time to bull crap. I almost said it. I almost said it! I thought, oh, what did Dr. Johnson think of me? I don't care about you guys. You've already heard this. I learned while we were BSing each other, I learned that he was a degreed artist from the Rhode Island School of Design. He lived with his girlfriend, then wife Kelly, in New York, Providence, and Traverse City. He and Kelly had done every job imaginable, from maintenance jobs to painting houses to legal secretary to working actually at the Art Museum at the RISD. But Ashtabula was home for both of them, and when Jake decided to come home, he decided he had a fire in his belly to change the town. And I don't know how many of you are familiar with Ashtabula, but it's not unlike Youngstown or Lorraine and Elyria, some of those places that one time had a huge industrial base and no longer have much going on. He said to me, Tim, we need a real community to rebuild this town. True spirit. Because I've been in cool towns like Traverse City, and they're cool places, but I didn't sense the spirit there that I think we can build here. He had one little problem. He was more an artist than a businessman. A true blue artist. And he would yell, truly yell sometimes to me, things like, profit is a dirty word, McCarthy. This is the guy running a business. One time he told me, I will never have an employee, period, other than my dad, who works for free. McCarthy, I hate business people, let alone business plans, and I don't plan to become one. And then some came along that has probably happened in a lot of our lives. And it was a little baby named Nico, a baby boy. And I had told him that I would refuse to loan him money if he wasn't willing to write a business plan. A year and a half later, Nico was born, and somehow he decided to write a business plan. And in that plan was the same thing you guys have developed over these past months. He had a situation analysis. He did it grudgingly, but I swear he had a situation analysis. He had financial budgets, pro formas. He had the labor charts. He had the cost of goods sold forecasts. He had his measurements. He had it all together. But here's the one thing he showed me after it was all done. It's lesson number 1 to you of 2 today. I'm going to leave you with 2 lessons instead of 6 because I decided to talk about my friend. It is, he decided what would make Harbor Perk unique. What was the one thing that people could get at the Harbor Perk that they couldn't get anywhere else in our area? Just the one thing. Not 2 things, not 10 things. What's the one thing they can get at my place they can't get elsewhere? He decided that was they could actually have their coffee roasted there, whether by the cup or by the pound. And so his first loan I'm not cool. It's okay, it's okay. So, yeah, I can't show you twice, Joe. So he decided what was the one thing well, and the one thing well was he was actually going to turn green beans into dark beans, and he was going to serve them fresh fresh. And that'd be the only place you could get that in our area. So whether it was by the pound or by the cup, he was going to serve it fresh. Since Jake launched his coffee shop, his new coffee shop, he moved down the street with his new roaster. He called it Steve. And Steve and him moved down the street to a beautiful shop on Bridge Street, 1009, in 2009. And since then, he has inspired a few other people to try the same route. There's a couple who makes their own beach glass jewelry. There's a couple that smokes the only real barbecue in the area, and it's amazing barbecue. There's a degreed chef who provides the only fine dining in our area. There's another couple, this one was a funeral director in Mount Gilead, Ohio, decided to come home and start a diner that cooks the only Swedish puff pancake you can find anywhere in the area. We've got a 29-year-old veteran of Afghanistan who makes the only made-from-scratch pizza in our area and lots of other good food. We have an old-fashioned candy maker who makes sea salt chocolate bark to die for. He makes it on a 45-foot-long enrober that was made in like 1940s or 1950s. Remember the old Lucy, I Love Lucy thing where the candy's coming off the thing and she's trying to eat it? But they have exactly that machine. And they still use it to make their candies. There's a new shop that carries only homemade scooped ice cream, and 5 other business people that created real unique gift and art shops, kind of home stores and gift shops and that kind of thing. In all, 24 loans have been made to about 18 businesses in our county, about $600,000 total. It generates about $8 million in annual revenue, supplies over 150 jobs. That's since 2009 when Jake started this. The second thing Jake did, his other big decision, which is lesson number 2. I had a professor who used to say, when I really want you to remember, I'm going to go like this. So the second lesson is Jake decided that his business would reflect his life, and his life would reflect his business. It's an interesting one, isn't it? Especially when you're talking about a person roasting coffee. I mean, how many Starbucks are there? So it's not like, this is a real life thing, but Jake said, if I'm going to turn into a business person, I want it to reflect my life, and therefore, if I have to grow, I want to grow the business through the kind of thing I want to have. And I said, well, what's that thing? And he said, to build a spirit of community that I didn't have in those other cities, that I didn't feel in those other cities. And you could already hear kind of the results of that community by the description of the other businesses that followed him in. He wanted to make a positive change in a negative environment. We had 10,000 business type workshops every month. We have on Monday afternoon. They have to actually sign that in their contract when they get a loan from us, that they'll be there the 3rd Monday at 5:30 till 7 o'clock every month, because as we know, problems don't happen by plan, they happen episodically. And so they're with us, every entrepreneur's with us. And Jake would always bring the coffee, and he was very shy about speaking. And still we'd get him up to the front, and we'd tease him, and somehow he'd push through it, and he would give his lessons to his other friends. So if you get a chance, visit Ashtabula County. Here's my plug. It's a great place. Stop at one of our wineries or one of our covered bridges or our beaches on your way to Bridge Street, but come to the Harbor Park and take a look. Because the one thing I think you'll experience is warm, friendly, very accepting atmosphere. And that's the spirit he tried to bring. So on Sunday night, you may know why, I chose Jake, or you may have guessed, I got a call from Kelly, his wife, at 36 years old. Jake had passed after struggling 19 months with glioblastoma, a rare and aggressive form of brain cancer. And so a couple of days ago, so on Monday, on Monday, I sat on the street all day and watched people hug and cry. I watched Jake's little brother go into the locked coffee shop and roast coffee and bring it out and set it on a table outside the front door. Offer it for free to everybody. One of the business owners came up to me and said, let's do a memorial service on my front lawn. My front lawn's on the lake. I'd love to do a service there. Kelly's dad came to me and said, I'll fix up that guy's front yard so it's really nice, so we can have a heck of a celebration. Hopefully it doesn't rain. It did. The general store owner on our street committed to providing and serving all the beverages. Our 5 favorite restaurateurs fixed all the food. 2 funeral homes. Right, they're competitors. 2 funeral homes wanted to serve Jake. So one of them took care of the transportation and the other took care of the arrangements. A remodeler brought chairs and tables and tents. The music people brought their sound system. Other business people that Jake affected did things like hang his paintings in the yard and create memory books of things they'd learned from Jake. Our local university, Kent State University Ashtabula, even donated their parking lot so we could shuttle people to and from, because we had a feeling it might be a bit of a turnout. And sure enough, yesterday afternoon, over 600 people showed up in Ren Carlisle's front yard. And I don't know how many of you are going to have 600 at your funeral. That ain't going to happen. And it sure as hell wouldn't have happened when I was 36 years old, you know. I might have gotten 10 people, and they were all my brothers and sisters when I was 36. So Jake was a real success in business and life, and the reason I wanted to share that with you today is because it can be more than your business, because it affects at least 3 other people. It affects your suppliers, it affects your vendors, it affects your customers. It affects everybody, and it doesn't matter what business you're in. It doesn't matter. They say, a guy told me the other day, I work in social business a lot, and he said, you know, we'll know when we've changed as a society, when people can make money and create social change with the same career. Isn't that an interesting statement? He said, someday soon, our kids will make good money and create social change in the same career. What a great dream that is. But it's not just a dream. You affect everybody that's in your inner circle, and everything ripples out from there. So celebrate tonight. Celebrate all weekend if you can, if you're stronger than I am. Yeah, we got together after the service last night. And yeah, I'm feeling a little hairy. So I hope you celebrate too. You earned it. You earned it. You earned it. The teachers have told me you earned it. You worked so hard, and you guys did such a great job. And you were so coachable. So it means you can succeed. And when you get back to work on Monday or whatever, I want you to ask yourself those 2 questions. I want you to take a look at that big, huge plan and still ask yourself 2 questions. 1, can you clearly state one thing that your business, gives people that they can't get anywhere else? And does your life reflect your business, and your business reflect your life? When you fill in those answers with clarity and confidence, you will succeed in your business, but so much more importantly, like Jake, you'll succeed